Everybody, I've been dealing with some trouble, so I'm going to try to make this short and sweet to the point. Because I am tired of making videos over and over and over again, just so it doesn't work. Because something goes awry with my phone, which I know it has nothing to do with me, and more to do with what has been said out of my frickin' mouth. So, let's go on with this. I believe that there are certain films, obviously, that have truth that are littered in them, that are trying to put hate upon Christianity. For example, the Purge films. I believe they are trying to take that which is the church under Rome, I'll explain this in a second, take the actuality of it, and then paint Christianity on the face of it, kind of like you would put paint on a wall. And they're trying to get people to hate the face, the paint, instead of hating what it is, not what Christianity is, but the reality is. So, taking that, but at the same time making people want it in a different form, just with different paint, in order to get that effect in us, programming-wise. Moving on. The legs of iron being Rome, which is spoken of in Daniel 2:35, or technically starting at 31 on to 44. I will only go into a little bit. I believe personally that the head of gold is Babylon, or what it was. Silver being the next empire after that. Brass, being that of Alexander's empire. And iron is Rome, the system that was created by Rome that still exists today. For crying out loud, the United States was born a republic, much like Rome. And like Rome, it has become an empire that spreads itself, like legs spreading itself upon the land, treading everywhere it goes, it conquers. With that being said, I believe that the system itself is a part of the beast, because the beast has 7 heads, like 7 kingdoms, or 7 nations, or in general, that kind of concept of things. Corporations. 10 horns being certain mystery schools. I wouldn't say mystery schools, more like the groups therein that teach these mystery schools. That would be, example, Freemasons, Templars, etc. And on those 10 horns, 10 crowns, which means 10 kings. So the heads of each freaking horn has a crown. So each head of these organizations, like the Freemasons and the Templars and such, they have a king, a leader, a figurehead, to which represents the beast, that controls the beast, that manages this massive conglomerate of system, to which was birthed by Rome in its concept of divide et impera, divide and conquer. So, with that being said, a beast is animalistic, led by emotions, so your feelings, and embraces sin. For example, Sin City, I believe, is a representation of this in a way, trying to get us again to hate the freedom of what has been created in the United States or in the Western nations, and try to then again make us hate it in that same right through the crime and corruption, which is part of the reality that we live in. Not mentioning the fact that the actual reality is, again, they're just trying to get us to hate the image that they're making of Christianity and of freedom, and therefore taking away from the evil that is actually the core of what you're watching, but still making you want the evil so that you can counter the evil. Anyhow, the 3 cities being DC, London, and Rome, i.e. the Vatican. So these 3 cities are that representation. They are the one city spoken of in Revelations, as well as in Book of Isaiah and other such. But in this moment, I wanted to shoot that to you. Take it for what it is. Last but not least, if you know anything about Trump and the number 88. Read chapter 18 of Revelations, page 1888. You'll see what I mean. Before I shoot out, I want to read a little bit of Daniel, just so I can get this out of there. Hopefully I'll actually have enough time. This will actually freaking upload. So, with that being said, legs of iron, God's talked about with the invisible hands in verse 34 of chapter 2 of Daniel that would cut a stone, being Christ, which would smash the image upon the feet that were of iron and clay. I believe that the iron being the system of Rome, and clay being the Talmud or Chabad, or in general just that group that seeks to meld the Word of God to fit their own narrative, will not mix, and therefore it will be easily broken. Now, if you go then skip to 44, and in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces. So that kingdom being God, God sent the Son being Christ, Christ's temples in his followers, in us, in our hearts. That means we are pieces of that kingdom, in my opinion, will consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. I'm trying to tell you guys that the days that we're going into, Rome, the feet of mirror clay and iron, will be at its weakest. God will do something so amazing that it will break them just enough for us to be free, truly. With all that being said, hopefully I'll be able to upload this. God bless and good luck.